In case you thought Republicans in Congress were vaguely interested in reining in the out-of-control federal spending that's driving the economy to stagflation and leaving the American people to fight over the crumbs, they are not. Last week, as widely expected, GOP Speaker Johnson caved on another $1.2 trillion in spending, handing the Dems everything their grabby little hearts could desire. Now, one might argue this is disappointing since the Republicans control the House, meaning they control, in theory, the purse strings, as in, if they don't pass a budget, nothing gets spent. Of course, that power is completely neutered since Republicans are afraid of shutting down the government because they'll get blamed by the left-wing media for making grandma eat the cat food. This pork-packed spending bill was over 1,000 pages long, plus another 932 pages of, quote, explanatory statements, which is where they stuff all the really ugly things. Naturally, it was released at 3 a.m. since our government is deeply proud of the work it does. It funds a bevy of 6 agencies for the next 6 months, and also includes fun little Easter eggs, like a new National Red Flag Center that will spend $750 million, implying it will hire thousands of agents, to attack your Second Amendment rights. In fact, those goons might even be housed at the FBI's new $200 million headquarters, also funded by this bill, presumably as a reward for being so helpful hunting down peaceful protesters who the regime does not like. So in short, the Uniparty swamp wins again. National debt will continue growing. At the moment, it's running $1 trillion every 100 days, while, of course, the Republicans managed to get precisely nothing done about our gaping wound of a southern border or any of the other major promises. Now, in fairness, the $1.2 trillion bill does do a lot of other things. It funds legal immigrant nonprofits, hormone therapies for regendering kids, and it gives $500,000 for the NAACP's new headquarters. Note, the NAACP is, in theory, not actually a government agency. Along with $1 million for an LGBT community center in Philly that will help it fund monthly fetish parties. While I freely admit that monthly fetish parties are an important federal function, one might ask if there's not something else we could have spent the money on, like, say, a border. Moreover, these are not just about corruption, they illustrate how the deep state works. So the left uses tax money to fund its own activist army, while the GOP is happy to hold their beer, so long as there's some artillery in there for Ukraine. And you might remember during Trump, every time the media pearl-clutched over some fresh tweet, there was an insta-mob of hundreds protesting the street in about 15 minutes flat. Asked why the right cannot summon instant mobs, the running joke was that our people have jobs. But the much darker truth is that the left's activists are literally paid to protest. They are paid by you, a literal tax-funded activist army, funded $1 million at a time. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. At this point, the federal deficit is approaching 8% a year, which is the kind of number you only see if we are in the depths of a major recession or the depths of a major war. For that to be happening in relative peacetime, both economically and kinetically, suggests Washington has completely lost control. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.